Hi guys, welcome back. It's Orla and this is 40 something books, and today I'm doing Tuesday Talks, and today's topic is your do's and don'ts for publishers. And as always, the Goodreads link will be below. Do's and don'ts, I suppose. One of the big don'ts for me in actual physical books is when the publishers print out really small printed books, if that makes sense to you. So the font is really small and I struggle to read them. And actually it's one of the reasons that I've sort of sometimes switch over to my Kindle, because I can change the size of the font depending on how tired I am, and I like that. But I love physical books as well, and I will not buy a book if the paper is extremely cheap, and I won't buy a book if the font itself is very small. I just don't feel it's comfortable to read it. I would rather buy that book a little bit cheaper on a Kindle or a second-hand version of that book, or even spend an extra euro just to have a more comfortable reading experience. One of the other things too is I've noticed, I think sometimes what happens with publishers and authors is that the books are getting longer, and not necessarily for better reasons or for the plot or for the story. I sometimes think, and I suppose I was guilty of this, that maybe publishers assume that readers won't buy short books or small books, and then they're sort of putting pressure maybe on authors to write a 500-page book instead of a 300-page book. And frankly, that can be awful. It should only be done where necessary for the plot. I know this annoys other people. I'll just clarify in the sense that I don't collect books. I don't collect series and books, and I don't have an obsession. Well, I don't have the space, and my husband would go mad. I don't have that desire for that much clutter. Not to say that I don't have books around the house. I mean, I have a bag over there with about 16 or 20 books in it. But I know that it annoys other people who do collect books and collect series if the covers change. And that's not an issue for me. I wanted to read 3 books in a trilogy, and they had all different covers, but it was working out cheaper for me. I'm afraid my budget comes first, and I will buy them anyway. But because I'm not a collector, that doesn't bother me. But I'm sure there are people who it drives wacky that they keep changing the covers and so on. I do agree that sometimes a book's cover has drawn me in to buy, at least maybe looking at it and thinking about it. So I do believe in book art, and I do appreciate like beautifully made books, and the inside covers and the coverlets and all that on it being nice. Another thing really, and it's another topic for one of my groups, but I really rely on the synopsis of a book, and so I like to get an idea of the book before I buy it by reading the synopsis. So that's another do for publishers. Put a good bit of effort into the synopsis. I also would love if on the inside of a book it said this is part of a series or a collection of books, and now some books do say that, but I'd like publishers to make it much more clear what book, like say if I pick up the second book, I know it's the second book, even if it's just somewhere it says hashtag number 2 or something. But I've often picked up books in the wrong sequence, and it's because I don't realise they're the second or third book in a series. So if it could be just specified somewhere that it was obvious to a reader and that the buyer that this is part of a series. It's probably a quick and very boring chat video, but please leave some comments, thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe obviously. And if there's anything that gets to you in books these days, let me know. And thanks for listening.